Welcome to Vancouver Airport, where today there's absolutely no time to lose as I race to get to my connection. Today I will be flying on AC206 through to Calgary with an estimated departure time of 0900. This video is filmed while restrictions are still in place and therefore masks are mandatory at this point. Vancouver Airport features beautiful sculptures and general scenery throughout the airport. As I've repeatedly stated, it's undoubtedly one of my favourite airports that I've had the pleasure of travelling through on the entire globe. We're headed towards the C and D gates. However, fun fact if you will, I would have had access to the Maple Leaf Lounge today as I'm in business class, but due to my rush, it's simply not possible. Of course, there are various amenities featured around Vancouver Airport, including shops, restaurants, and more. This is my Airbus A319 today. It'll be my first time on the 319, and it's also one of the few operating for the Canadian carrier. Departure is from gate C31, however right across from it is C49, where my 737 MAX flight left a couple months prior. Upon arriving at C31, boarding commenced. Being in business class, I was one of the first on board. Flying in business class wasn't made possible thanks to the pay-to-upgrade scheme, where I bid the lowest amount of just over $100 and scored the upgrade. Given this being a single-aisle aircraft, you probably already do know the configuration, which sees business class right up the front towards the aircraft, and I'm today going to be seated in the final row of business, and while we wait to get into my seat, I should mention, there are 4 rows of business class in a 2 and 2 configuration, with the remaining rows all behind that curtain you see on your screen now being your stock standard economy class. And as you can see, well, the seats in business class are pretty dated on board this A319. Honestly speaking, legroom on this specific flight was quite decent, and in addition to some lovely legroom, the seat comes with a footrest, which made it for a pleasant experience. To your left, in case you're curious, is also going to be the armrest. Inside the armrest does feature a tray table. Vancouver is rainy today, so I'm happy to be inside and away from the elements, if you will. The IFE also features a USB, although just like the IFE, it doesn't work. To the right is a lovely spot to place your drinks and or food. A safety card is featured in the seat back pocket, and to reiterate, I'm flying on the A319-100. Boarding was slow and I was pretty eager to get away, especially as my connection in Calgary was only meant to be 20 minutes. Towards the top, of course, we have our air duct vents and more, and moving towards the left, we have a very nice shade. As mentioned, the tray table is stored to the left, and to reiterate, the legroom is fantastic. And in case you're just wondering, here is me about to unpack the tray table, and let's pretend that it was my first go and it went perfectly, when in reality, it took me many attempts to figure out how to get this tray table actually out and in place. Water was immediately served upon sitting down. In addition, we got the Air Canada Clean Care Kit, which does feature a mask, and I've shown this many times. Earphones were also provided, which was a nice touch being in business. As I've previously stated, you'll need to pay for these earphones if you're flying in economy. Now, I'll be quiet and let you enjoy the beautiful takeoff. As we say goodbye to Vancouver, I should mention the departure was almost 45 minutes late, meaning my scheduled arrival time into Calgary was after my scheduled departure time out of Calgary as well. So enjoying this experience was a little bit hard, as I was pretty worried, and we were delayed because of engineering difficulties. That's right, you guessed it correctly. This is my 3rd flight in a row now where I've dealt with a similar problem to the aircraft. A little bit earlier in this review, I mentioned the IFE didn't work, but honestly, there's not much point in showing you every single area. That would take half an hour, but I thought I'd just film it to highlight, generally speaking, how bad the IFE is. Now, there's English and French as language options on it, and in addition to that, there's various movies, audios, there's an apparent map where you can track your flight, but like I said, the response times are very, very bad. Getting anything up is next to impossible, and I think I quickly made that real realization that probably it wouldn't be best for me to be utilizing this during my 1 and a bit hour journey. That being said, it's an old aircraft with a very dated interior, and it's sort of what you expect and made it a unique experience in itself. There are new releases, action, comedy, drama, and a whole lot more. The flight to Calgary was also a scenic paradise, so I didn't need the IFE, and as you'll see, it made for one of the prettiest flights I've been on, thanks to the snow-capped mountains being as far as the eye can see. Breakfast was soon served, honestly one of the best airline meals I've had. Omelette, sausage, bacon, potatoes, fresh fruit, and other bits and bobs. Now though, I'll be quiet and let you enjoy the views of the Canadian Rockies. Now it's time for our landing into Calgary. What a beautiful flight it was. The seat, while dated, was comfortable, and something you get for a seat that has been so worn in, I guess. It felt homely. The staff were absolutely incredible and catered to every need, and that was mostly assuring me that they'd do everything possible to get me on my next flight, which at the time of touchdown into Calgary was basically on its final boarding call. As best described by someone in our community, Air Canada is very hit and miss, but for this service it was undoubtedly a hit. Was it worth paying an extra $100 or so to jump on board a business experience for this aircraft? No, like I'll always say, it wasn't worth it, but given it being at a minimum cost, I thought why not, and give this experience to you in a detailed trip report. But if you're looking at flying in a little bit of luxury for the 1 hour journey, then I would totally recommend it to you, but like I said, for me, I probably wouldn't do it again. I've ticked it off now, and that's that. Will I be making my next flight? Well, stay tuned to see the following flight review, where I will be jumping on board another Air Canada flight, but this time in their Boeing 777 in their flagship business class. From Calgary through to Montreal, a roughly 4.5 hour experience. I'm very excited for this incredibly detailed review, so definitely keep your eyes peeled on the channel as it does come out. Thank you for watching my review, do take care and be safe, and I will see you next time.